Good evening. I'm half cut, as they say. Too damned hot and muggy to eat or sleep. Now, every day, and it is every day, thank goodness, I read the Bible sitting on the throne, the holy throne, my toilet. Keith Richards' Life. This is my Bible, and this is from the Old Testament. Now, I was sitting there evacuating my bowels a minute ago, and cheers. And Keith's life after World War II was not dissimilar to mine 10 years later, in that we weren't bombed to the shithouse in World War II. Australia was bombed and attacked and everything, but we sort of grew up with very little in the 50s. Nothing like what he had. But the thing was that I'm 72, and I got to page 27. Which is the obverse, obviously. And I thought I'd read from our lesson, our religious lesson for this evening. I'll read from the Old Testament, um, Psalm 27. Now, he's talking here about he used to go bicycling into the woods along the Thames, where it was full of army deserters from World War II and what he calls buggers here, which I think we know what that means. It says here, the first time I got shot by one of those bastards, that's an army deserter living in the woods. The first time I got shot was by one of those bastards, a good shot, an airgun pellet on the bum. One of our hangs was a pillbox, an old machine gun post, of which there were many along the tideway. One day we found a dead tramp in there, huddled up, covered in blue bottles. That's what Poms call. We call them. We don't call them that here, but they're big blowflies. A dead paraffin lamp, rhyming a slang for tramp. Used rubbers, flies buzzing, and this paraffin had croaked. He'd been there for days, weeks even. We never reported it. We ran like the fucking Nile. Now, he got shot in the bum. I'm just closing the good book and placing it on the Holy Tabernacle, Albertson's Reserve Soft Dry Red. And that brought back memories to me. I thought, well, isn't that interesting? This is page 27 and I'm 72. It's interesting that he mentioned air guns. Now, when I was a kid, you could buy pellet guns. You could actually buy 22 rifles. Me and my dad used to go shooting rabbits with 22 rifles on his friend's farm. I didn't enjoy killing animals ever, and I usually intended to miss, but we used to eat a lot of rabbit in Australia back in the 50s after World War II. You only had chicken at Christmas. That was Christmas dinner was chicken, and in our case, we go up to my dad's brother's sister's farm, and I'd have to watch Dad chop the heads, the chook's head off, while the poor thing ran around without a head. That's the way it was in those days, and we lived on offal. We used to eat brains, chicken liver, lamb's fry. Actually, it's delicious. Lamb's fry and onion is absolutely delicious. But we sort of lived on offal, and You killed, you had your own chooks, you grew your own vegetables. Um, so it was, we had no indoor toilet. You know, you had a communal toilet out in the backyard, and when it filled up, you went and dug a big hole in the backyard near the vegetable patch, buried the shit and piss and everything. Um, and it actually grew the best vegetables ever. The Chinese have been doing that for thousands of years. But this is like back in the 50s, so it was just normal. Getting off track. Yeah, so you'd just get used to your pet chickens, and then you'd have to eat them at Christmas. Yes, and so yes, we used to go and had to do it all yourself. You didn't go. There were no supermarkets then, no takeaways, no nothing. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Um, so in some ways, growing up as a kid in the 50s in Australia was not that different to Keith Richards in the late 40s. Um, so um, yeah, air guns, air rifles. They were banned here eventually, but I always had one. I had a high-powered Czechoslovakian air rifle. I think I stole it. I think the guy had it under his bed. Someone I didn't know particularly well. I was a real thief when I was a kid, a real little horror, and I usually got away. I always got away with it. Actually, I grew out of it by pretending to become a Christian when I was 12. I'd walk around the high school with a Bible going, bless God and all this shit. I didn't even read that garbage. But everyone said, oh, he's a nice Christian. But it actually helped me stop thieving. Um, I think the thieving probably went back to being molested or something when I was a kid. I don't know. Look, let's not get into that. I didn't have a hard childhood, but I'm just telling a story. And Keith Richards didn't particularly have a hard childhood either. Not really. He survived it, and so did I. Many don't. And I think I stole it. I'm pretty sure I did because I don't know where I would have got it from. It was expensive. I remember it was I can't think of the name, but it was very, very powerful. Just shy of a 22 rifle for impact. And Keith got shot once in the bum. I've shot two men in the bum with an air rifle. The first time we had the outdoor toilet I told you about, and my mum was down there, doing a business, and I was up in the house, and she started screaming, "David, David!" So I just automatically grabbed the air rifle, ran out, and I saw this guy. Mum was in this outdoor toilet, and this I could see this guy running, and I actually ran down, chased him, and we had a back fence, but it was all bushy, and it took him a bit of trouble to get over the fence. As he went on the fence, bang, got him in the arse, and he went, ow! I got him right in the fucking arse. Good shot. And he never came back. But I always wondered who it was. It was one of our neighbours. Which one was it? So you'd go around and you go, hello, Mr. So-and-so. Hello, Mr. Smith. Hello, Mr. Jones. Hello, whatever. Um, and you'd always think, I wonder if that was the guy. I only saw his fucking the back of him and shot him in the ass, but he never came back. And the next one, we used to go, I grew up on the edges of what was called the Royal National Park in 1954 when that filthy parasite, the Queen, came out here to bludge on the Australian taxpayer and have a lovely holiday at our expense. Before that, it was just called National Park, and it's reverted back to what it should be, National Park. The second national park in the world after Yellowstone. I grew up on the edges of it, and my childhood was just running wild through there. It was just wonderful. Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, just wonderful, wonderful stuff. But there were a lot of creeps and perverts in there. And one day I was out there hunting, and You weren't supposed to, and I regret doing what I did, but it's just instinct at that age. Humans, you know. I'm like a Buddhist now. I try not to even step on an ant. But then, well, yeah. But we're out there and we're walking along this river, this creek bed, and there's this guy laying on a rock in a nude, and I thought, this guy's a fucking child molester or a pervert. So I got the old gun out, bang, straight in the fucking ass. He squealed like a pig. It was great. It was so funny. Yeah, but that's our lesson for today. I must partake of the holy, the blood of Keith. The holy sacrament. Oh, sorry, I'm on camera. Konnichiwa. Uri. See you later.